I just have to say before I begin, I will be looking at my notes. After 2 years, there's 1,000 people to thank. So bear with me. But I'm Jeannie Kirkpatrick. I'm the proud president of the Manatee Community Foundation, and we are honored to have all of you here. I welcome you to the 2022 Spirit of Manatee Community Foundation Awards. With such a lovely group of people and the largest attendance we have ever experienced, we know that everyone is wanting to recognize the good in our community. This event is a celebration of all of you and the spirit of giving. Manatee County is a place where each of us can have the opportunity to make a difference and see the results of our caring. As a longtime supporter of MCF, I am so proud of our donor community, the nonprofit organizations we support, and the corporate ambassadors that realize and recognize the importance of philanthropy. Our foundation family continues to grow with new people who choose to be a part of this organization because of the expertise, the professionalism, and creativity we share with them to make the greatest impact with their charitable dollars and then enjoy their giving. The chair position, for me, working with the partnership of the current board members, they are so passionate, and I would like them all to stand so we can give them a warm thank you. Will past board members please stand? So many of you were there at the very beginning of this journey. We thank you for helping us with the continual success we are enjoying. Another big heartfelt thank you goes to Susie Bowie, I can't say her name now. Susie Bowie, our CEO, and her fantastic team. I want you to know that all of them really rose to the challenge when COVID hit, and most of us had no idea what to do. Nonprofits, committees in the community, they all wanted to continue helping, and so in any way we could, our team could, they reached out to be there for them. Thank you. I just have to say, the last 2 years, oh boy. Let's all take a deep breath, including myself, and think about where we are today. We are here because of people who have taken care of us and taken care of our community. Would you please stand to be recognized if you are a member of or a family member of a healthcare professional, an educator? Please stand, don't be shy. A first responder or a caseworker at a local nonprofit. Wait a minute. All right. Okay. You are seen and celebrated for your dedication, long hours, and a very strong commitment to this community, and we do thank you. I now invite you to sit back and enjoy the inspiration of our time together. The only thing you will be asked to do is to reflect on the meaning of giving and perhaps give a thought to how you, in your role, can inspire others to also do what they can when they can. Thank you. Now, let's look at a video about the spirit of Manatee.
We live in the most beautiful place in the world, Florida, on the water, and we have amazing people who care deeply, and that's the spirit of Manatee.
We are constantly looking for ways to be able to help nonprofits to make a better impact, to be good stewards for the funds that have been brought to us to care for. If it's financial assistance, if it's education on how other nonprofits can be more impactful, the Community Foundation is always willing to look at what those needs are and collaborate with others to make it something that is of value to those stakeholders that we serve.
And let's make this community, this state, this world a better place. Simply by saying, reach out and touch somebody's hand and make this world a better place if you can.
Well, hello, everyone. I am Susie Bowie, and I have the incredible honor of serving as the Executive Director of Manatee Community Foundation. Thank you. I'm sure many of you recognized Henry Blyden in that video. I think about the tragedy that he's not with us this year, but I also think how special it was that we took the time to thank him last year, and how meaningful it is for us to invest every single moment in thanking people that make a difference. At Manatee Community Foundation, we know that each of our donors has their own passions in giving, and we honor the contributions that they wish to make. We work with our community to listen to people who tell us what they need to be successful, and we cherish the chance to bring people together for learning and celebration. We have the privilege of working with people who organize their philanthropy with donor-advised funds at Manatee Community Foundation, who trust us as their partner in their charitable legacies and who refer us to their friends and their family members. Their choices reflect their values and their beliefs, and we steward their aspirations for our community with the utmost care. What a privilege that is. We're grateful for the professional advisors who recommend us to their clients for strategic and meaningful philanthropy. Through the generosity of our donors, we are awarding significantly more grants and scholarships every year, investing in more community and nonprofit education and learning, and elevating the opportunities for every person to participate in our processes. Most importantly, all of this work is leading to real gains for people, animals, and special places. This continues to be the focus of our work, making results. A special thanks to our friends, Robin Fossey and Hal Williams, for all of the results-first work they're leading in our community. A very special thank you to Marilyn Howard, who's with us today. She was the first executive director of Manatee Community Foundation, and I am so grateful for all of the work that she has done. Bob Christopher and Bob Blaylock, incredible men in our community who founded the Community Foundation in 1998. What a joy that you're with us today. In addition to your continued guidance and support, both of you have been friends to me, something for which I am most grateful. I also want to recognize John Clark, who's here, who started the Lakewood Ranch Community Fund 20 years ago. Thank you for your inspiration. Also joining us are City of Bradenton Mayor Jean Brown and Chief Melanie Bevan. We're joined by former Senator Bill Galvano, and thanks to School Board Member Charlie Kennedy. Thank you all for being here for this celebration. We have great support with representation from other foundations in our area here today. We have colleagues from the Community Foundation of Sarasota County, the Bishop Parker Foundation, the Patterson Foundation, Manatee Education Foundation. And we also have other sector leaders who have done so much for our nonprofit community with their thought leadership and their giving. These include United Way Suncoast, the Manatee Chamber, and the Minnesota Black Chamber of Commerce. Thank you all so much for what you do. I know that partnering, which we have done a lot of over the last couple of years, we've made our community so much better because we share knowledge, time, and connections. As Jeannie Kirkpatrick mentioned, and by the way, she is an exceptional board chair. Let's give it up for Jeannie. Her grace and her kindness, her warmth, and her respect for our staff team are true gifts. But it has been a really long 2 years. I was chatting with Richard from METV yesterday, and we were saying, do we even know what year it is? Like, what year is it anyway? It has been a particularly difficult time for nonprofits. They are the ones that are doing the truly hard work. I want to let you know that our team holds our nonprofit partners in a space of the deepest respect and gratitude for what they do every day. You seldom know everything a day has encompassed for those who work closest to people with needs, and how hard it is for them to go home every day, knowing that no matter how much they've done, there is still more to do. It's true. It's possible to see our world in a very dismal place right now. If you get sucked up on social media or television, or even if you see the real needs in our community, it's difficult to feel that we can escape that. But we can benefit more from spending time shining the light on the improvements we make together than getting mired in our shortcomings, and that's really what today is all about. Each of our honorees has this spark of light within themselves. And as you hear from them today, you will know that they serve our community with purpose and with humility, helping others to find their own light. If you're a past winner of a Spirit of Manatee Award, we ask that you stand to be recognized if you are able. Look at all these giants of the community here. Thank you so much for being with us year after year. Our work at Manatee Community Foundation is made possible by an amazing team, and I have the opportunity to work with them every day. I feel so lucky for that. Joan McCaw, Jennifer Abbott, Alicia Chalmers, and Amy Trice. By the way, Amy Trice worked so hard on this event. I see her standing in the back. She wouldn't even sit down. Thank you, Amy. Huge round of applause to you for what you've done to make this possible. I also want to introduce our newest team member, our Community Investment Officer, Simone Peterson, who joins Manatee Community Foundation after a 14-year career at Manatee County government. You will find her absolutely extraordinary. Welcome, Simone. A huge thanks to Laura Spencer, who serves as our CFO, and Betsy Pennywell, who serves as our corporate counsel. We appreciate you so much. We can do our work so well because people and businesses invest in our own success. And I want to thank everyone who's made gifts to support our operations. Please join me in welcoming and thanking Manatee Community Foundation's corporate ambassadors, which are seated in the first 2 rows. Thank you to our corporate ambassadors. I want to just say that not for a moment when COVID hit us did you flinch. Every single one of these businesses continue to support not just the foundation, but other nonprofits that were fearful that they could lose support because we didn't know what it meant. Every single one of these corporate ambassadors continue to step up. You can see their logos on the screen and you can see their names in the program. I can't thank you enough. Now I'd like to thank our premier sponsor of the Spirit of Manatee Awards Luncheon, the Milestone Financial Group at Morgan Stanley. These incredible professionals have been with us for all 16 years of the Spirit of Manatee as our premier sponsor. Thank you so much. Now we're going to watch a short interview with John Vita. So John, thank you so much to you and the Milestone Financial Group of Morgan Stanley for sponsoring Spirit of Manatee again. You have been such a champion of the community for so many years. What is your secret to staying involved?
Well, thanks for having us here, Susie. We really appreciate it. We love our relationship with the Community Foundation and everything that we've done over the years, and it's just been a pleasure to do that. But staying involved, I think, is just a matter of being out in the community, enjoying the people that you're with, and looking for the needs that are out there. And we have so many right now in our community that are really dire needs and things that we really have to look at. And I just really feel very, very strongly, as you know, that we take a lot out of our community, and it's important to always be thinking about putting back in.
The world is very chaotic right now, and a lot of people turn to service and turn to giving to make the community better, not just for others, but to make themselves feel better. Do you think that's a good way to reconnect and stay connected during times like these?
I do, and I've always kind of been a big believer, of think globally and act locally. And I think by acting locally and looking at some of the organizations here that do have not only a local impact, but a global impact is really important. And especially, when it gets into things like pandemics and wars and, all the things that are happening, we really need to act in unison. And I'm really looking forward to talking more about that and talking more about how when we all work together, good things happen. And, one person can only do so much, right? But organizations like the Manatee Community Foundation that bring folks together, both individually as businesses and as a community, really make an impact, I think, huge, on the rest of, not only our community, but the rest of the world.
Well, thank you, Susie. It is great to be back, see so many faces. I think back to a couple of years ago when thinking about our comments to you, I asked my wife, my sweet wife, Dana, what are your thoughts? What's your advice on our comments? And she looked at me and said, brief. And I asked her again, said, hey, it's been a couple of years. Any thoughts? She looked at me like our spouses often do when we ask them a question more than once. And she said, briefer. So gives you a little insight to the kind of rawness and honesty in our house. But it is great to be here. I think about 16 years of recognizing, the very best in our community. And we always want to be a part of a day like this because it really is an opportunity to recognize the very best in our community. But it's also an opportunity to take measure of the pillars in our community that you think about that have come before us, some of which are here, some of which are no longer here. I think about Stu Gregory, think about Dan McClure, Pat Glass, Ray Baden, pillars in our community that are gone, but really set the standard for us on leadership and giving in our community. I think about other contributors and leaders in our community that are still here that have literally been giving for decades. I think of Lemoyne and Darlene Johnson. I think of Bob Blaylock, Trudy and Stuart Moon, Tommy Howes, Steve Wilson, so many others that have been pillars in our community and have truly set an example for what leadership and what giving is in our community. And I think about the new guard. I think about the new guard of leaders in our community that have taken that torch and continue forward. People like Hugh and Karen Miller, John and Tompi Vita, Chuck and Jeannie Slater, Elizabeth Moore, John Horn, so many others that have taken that torch and jumped forward. They all contribute, their dollars, they contribute their time and mentorship to community organizations and people in our community, and they're vital. But there's also many of you that give behind the scenes, and I want to recognize you because that behind the scenes giving and working that happens really is what makes this community stronger. It makes it better. It makes it the amazing place that it is for all of us to live. So let's all join all of these leaders, the ones that are recognized today and the ones that have been recognized in the past. Let's join them and continue to do our part to make this community really what it is. It's one of a kind community where we live. So thank you for allowing us to be here, and thank you for allowing us to be a part of this community. It truly is an honor. Thank you.
I agree with Chris. It's amazing to see everybody here today and to look out over the room to a record crowd of folks that are here to celebrate philanthropy in our community. It's been a pleasure to be a part of it for 16 years. And Susie, if we do that video again next year, we need to make sure that we get a little bit better shot of my hair because it's different than it was 16 years ago, I guess. But as all things, as all things come, they also go. But when I was reflecting about this, when I looked out and I started to think about the darkness that tried to take over our world, and it was fought back because of one thing. It's a thing that for me is the most special part of our community. We've all had the ability to act on our own and make our community and our world a better place. We hear stories all the time about people and their individual efforts to do good and to make the world a better place. We all have a light, just like this one at your table, and in a dark place that needs more and more light. What we don't get to see or celebrate are the results we have when we collectively decide to be a light for progress. The Spirit of Manatee started 16 years ago to celebrate just that, the collective benefits that result when we work together. This one small light makes a difference. But when we all turn on our lights together, everybody turn on your light. Look at all the light in the room around you. I just ask you to take just a second just to look around what we can all do together if we work together and we continue to do that in our community. We can make a difference. Thank you very much. Okay, now for the good stuff. We're kicking off the Spirit of Manatee honoree presentations with our Young Spirit winner. The Young Spirit Award is presented to a young person under the age of 21 who has demonstrated an exceptional commitment to the charitable community by direct financial support, who has contributed time and energy to a fundraising effort, and who, by example, has encouraged and motivated others, young and old, to make contributions to a charitable cause in the Manatee community. For the second year in a row, our Young Spirit honoree was nominated by Healthy Teens Coalition of Manatee County. Let's see the video that they made.
So Healthy Teens exists to empower young people to make informed choices about their health, whether that's their physical, mental, emotional well-being, and we do that through peer education and mentoring through our Teen Health Educator program. So Gabrielle has only been with us for about a year, and she's achieved so much in that year. She was trained as a teen health educator in January 2021, and in 1 year she's managed to get over 140 hours of volunteering service with us. So she tries to do everything. One particular place that she has committed to is working with the Family Resources Safe Place to Be shelter in Bradenton, working with young people there who are in a very traumatic part of their life, and she's just committed hour after hour to supporting those young people, mentoring them, educating them, being with them, providing a voice and a space for them. She's also really passionate about community access to healthcare amongst marginalised communities, working with us at health fairs, and really just being as committed to her community as she can be. And she was also just really eloquent, so she was able to speak at one of our events to supporters of ours, friends of the organisation, and really just, jaws were dropping around the room as she's sharing about the impact that she's had on young people's lives in our community, and that she was really able to show them the value of investing in the work that we do. So I'm sure that there are countless young people that Gabby has served through, especially through the youth shelter here, that have felt less alone, have felt more empowered, have felt that there's more hope in their lives because of what she's done. And one in particular, a young girl who just felt completely hopeless in her situation and felt like there were some very difficult and distressing options for her life. And Gabby was able to share with her that she wasn't alone, that she didn't have to make those choices, and that she did have options, and there was hope for her. And I believe that if Gabby hadn't been in that situation, this girl would have been in a lot of trouble. And so I think that's, for me, the individual impact on young people that she's making through her commitment to peer mentoring, to peer education is just, is life-changing.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to present to you the recipient of the 2022 Young Spirit Award, Gabriela Cortez Alban.
Hello, how are you guys today? Okay. So it's really funny because when I was little, I would go around to my dad's practice and I would wear a white coat, and so everyone was convinced that I was going to study medicine like my dad. But when I grew up, I started discovering that I had very different interests in education, in the arts, in humanitarianism, and civil liberties. And that just left me more confused than ever because I thought that I had to have my whole life planned out, and I was so confused with all of the different options. But what I did know was that I wasn't going to end up wearing a white coat. So, I just kept open to all of the opportunities that were presented to me, and I made sure that I put passion and purpose and intention into every project that I worked in. Along with those opportunities came Healthy Teens Coalition, opening my eyes to the perspectives and challenges faced by those in my community, hopefully giving me an avenue to speak light and information into them to make informed decisions, and the message that they can create their own success stories regardless of where they come from. So amidst all of that confusion, I realized that when we open our minds and our hearts, life has a way of directing us to these doors, leading us to what our purpose is. And with dedication, hard work, and love, we can open those doors, and suddenly there is a bit more clarity. So I'm grateful for this award, not only because my efforts are recognized, but because it too has served as one of those doors. When I saw the word philanthropy, I started to do some research, and I found that there is a major called philanthropic studies, and I loved it because it circulates all of the different things that I'm passionate about. So it is the study of how healthcare, how education, how nonprofits, how fundraising, how the performing arts, and much more can all work together to make our community a better place. So yay, one less thing to be confused about. But if I reach my goals and graduate from this, I guess there's still no white coat, huh? But what does this white coat represent? It represents the respect for the hours of dedication and hard work brought upon to helping others. So in reality, if you think about it, everyone in this room is wearing a white coat in a different way. Everybody is here has become a person that has brought more benefits to our community. And the tremendous effort and the amalgamation of things that they've done to make it a better place. So thank you. Thank you for your example and for the opportunities to give to my generation so that we can do the same. I also want to say thank you to the panel of judges and to the Manatee Community Foundation for the recognition. I want to say thank you to my peers from Healthy Teens, who together we can create a team to make this place something better. I'd like to thank Valerie, Jonathan, and Marianne for presenting to me all of these doors with opportunities. And I'd like to say thank you to the people that support me, to those who I love, to my family, and to my parents who's instilled those principles that make me eager to make something better of this community. So thank you, and I hope you all keep wearing your white coats.
How wonderful, right? It was great. The Community Spirit Award is presented to a business or service demonstrating outstanding commitment to the charitable community through direct financial support and through its leadership and motivation of others to participate and advance philanthropy in Manatee County. Our Community Spirit honoree is a leader in our region. Let's watch.
The Bank of America has been instrumental in the most important initiatives in our region. For Unidos Now, it was a great honor when 2 years ago, we were the inaugural neighborhood champions. And thanks to their support, we were able to transform the lives of hundreds of families in the Samoset area and beyond. Through a series of listening sessions, we were able to get to know the community, to understand the obstacles, but also their dreams and aspirations. And those families, in the process, developed leadership skills. They became active advocates, but also coming up with solutions that made sense for their own lives, for their own stories.
Bank of America's support has benefited the community that we serve in many ways, from board service and leadership, volunteerism, financial support, as well as just really being very in tune to what the needs of the community are and doing whatever they can to assist in that. In addition, we've benefited from a great program that provides student leaders to get more invested in nonprofits.
Our community is better because Bank of America is not only helping us develop our own leadership skills, but also they are an example of how to bring all the partners together to the table. Together we can do more. And they also bring not only the financial resources, but the tools for us to build a sustainable community.
And Bank of America just really leads the way. They practice what they preach, and they're very in tune to what the needs are in our community and how best they can be service to others in that way.
The 2022 Community Spirit Award is presented to Bank America, and accepting the 22 Community Spirit Award is Mike McCoy and Jamie Kahns.
Well, good afternoon. That's not it. My name is Mike McCoy, and I have the privilege of serving as the market president for Sarasota Manatee for Bank of America. This is Jamie Kahns. She's our market executive and right-hand man, woman. But I want to thank you all for being here today, and especially want to thank the Manatee County Community Foundation for this honor. It's standing up here and looking out and seeing so many people that are just pillars of the community. I think Chris Vining pointed that out. It is very humbling, past, present, and future. How about that Gabrielle? That's just amazing that we've got kids like that right here in our own community. A few years ago, our CEO, Brian Moynihan, he challenged a group of us market presidents, and he asked us, are your communities a better place because Bank of America is there? And I thought about that, and that was pretty meaningful. It was a deep question. It made me think of It's a Wonderful Life. You know that old Christmas movie? And George Bailey in the building and loan, he gets an opportunity to actually see what his community would have been like had he not been there, had the building and loan not been there. And so when we talk about what we do as a bank in this community, Jamie rolls her eyes, but I talk about It's a Wonderful Life, because I just think that if we live our purpose, and there's so many of us in this room that do, this community is a different place. Now, I know that as a bank, we do the greatest good for the community by being the very best bank that we can. That would be, funding capital expansions and adding jobs, or helping folks save for retirement, or our neighbors purchase a home. But that's good, but to be great, it goes much deeper. And that is the purpose of building up a better community, volunteering. I've just got some quick numbers here for you. I'm so proud of our folks. We've got over 34,000 volunteer hours from our employees over the last 5 years. We've donated about $2 million over the last couple of years. Our bank corporately has made a pledge of $1.25 billion to help with social and economic mobility. And some of that has actually come into our community. We just had a $200,000 grant that we were able to give out. So that's really special. So I've got a whole bunch more stuff, but we need to get on with the program. I just want to say thank you. I want to ask you the same question that our CEO asked us, and is this community a better place because you're here? And I'm looking over this crowd, and resoundingly, yes. You guys make this an awesome place to live and to raise a family and to work. So thank you.
And for those that know me, I couldn't come up here without just saying thank you. An honor to be part of the Manatee community. 4 years ago, I moved down here, and I'm honored on behalf of our 450 plus teammates to say this award, we don't do what we do to get recognized, but this feels really good, and I cannot wait to bring this back to the team. Thank you, everyone, today, and thank you for making this the best place to live. Really an honor. Thank you.
It's tough. Thank you all so much. Both truly great people, but I particularly like how Jamie just kind of popped Mike out of the way, as her right-hand person and said, I'm going to say a few things. And it reminded me very much of the people I work with too, so happens all the time. But thank you all very much, and congratulations to Bank of America and all your people. Well deserved. The Charles Clapsaddle Community Spotlight Award was named in Charles Clapsaddle's honor, who's here today, to recognize an outstanding nonprofit professional who embodies the spirit of philanthropy and community in Manatee County. He or she gives freely to support other nonprofit professionals, their work, and community efforts. After receiving the nominations for this special award, we received the tragic news that one of the award's creators, Paul Scharf, had passed away. We are joined here today by members of family and his staff at the Early Learning Coalition of Manatee County. The 2020 Charles Clapsaddle Community Spotlight Award is Paul Scharf. Let's see what they have to say.
Paul Scharf's philanthropy has benefited so many people in our community, but especially the youngest members of our community. And with our Dive Into Reading program, he has been such a huge support. He has donated books, he has made connections for us.
Paul had a huge heart. He was a fun-loving character. He was great to be around. Every day he was always trying to make things better in Manatee County, whether it was helping children, whether it was helping our childcare providers, whether it was, helping a small non-profit that doesn't have the same kind of budget as us. He would do anything to help anybody.
When he joined the Early Learning Coalition, he was such a huge resource for us in our Dive Into Reading program. The Early Learning Coalition gives the Anna Maria Oyster Bar around 1,000 books a month for our book nooks. and that is to encourage our youngest guests to, instead of being on a device when they're dining with us, that they can read and they get to take the books home. That has made such a big impact. I get letters from children saying, I told my parents to take me to the book restaurant. And we love that partnership, and that's all because of Paul.
Paul Scharf was a visionary. Paul came into this office every day with one aim, and that was to enhance the lives of children. He was constantly thinking of new ideas. He was always looking for ways to raise new monies, to support our children, to help other non-profits, to continue to improve the education standards. There are thousands of children in this county who have benefited from Paul Scharf.
It's so fitting that Paul could be honoured with this. I hate that it's posthumously, because we all miss him desperately, and we miss his vision and his laughter. But the fact that he can be honoured with this award that was actually his brainchild, I think is so fitting. And we're just very grateful that we had him for the time that we did.
The Charles Clapsaddle Award is to recognise people who give back and are passionate about things in Manatee County. And the award is really to recognise someone who is giving back to the local community and showing that passion and drive to help. And I know that Paul would be extremely proud to have won this award. He was extremely passionate, and we won many awards over the years, but this one would be particularly special for him, and it's really special for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in honoring the memory of Paul Scharf as his sons Ian and Evan accept the 2022 Charles Clapsaddle Community Spotlight Award on his behalf.
My father worked many years for his community. He cared deeply about the community around him and worked diligently to create the change he wanted to see. He cared about the disadvantaged children so they could grow up in a world with more opportunity and possibility thanks to the better education through programs like VPK and Cradles to College. We wish to carry on his legacy of altruism to help one another for no reason other than it being the right thing to do. I want to thank everyone who nominated my father for this award. It means a lot to my brother and I to see our father's dedication to his work appreciated. I know how much this award means to him. I thank you all. Thanks, Evan, and thank you all for being here. Yeah, it's been hard, but seeing all of your faces in the crowd and seeing all the people that knew him and cared about him, it means the world. And I wrote something, so I'll go through that. Our dad was a huge personality and had an incredible passion for everything that he did. Everything, not just for the community, but not a day goes by that we don't think about him, and it means the world to us to know that he is remembered for all the good that he's done for Manatee County and for that he's done for us. And so big thanks to everyone at the Manatee Community Foundation, our friends at ELC, and to everyone that helped in honoring him today. It's just amazing. It's so many people, and we just feel so loved. So thank you. We miss you, buddy. This community misses you.
The Leadership Spirit Award is presented to an individual demonstrating an active and ongoing charitable investment in the community, whose spirit of giving encourages and motivates others, and whose direct financial support has impacted one or more charitable institutions within the community. This year's Leadership Spirit nominees were tremendous, and we will be honoring 2 honorees this year. The first Leadership Spirit Award winner was nominated by United Way Suncoast and the School District of Manatee County. Let's watch what they have to say.
Omar is a champion for the School District of Manatee County. He's a assistant director for Manatee Technical College, where he recruits kids every day. Every day he's telling me how he's talking to kids in the community, trying to get them to secure trades and get to that next level and become a part of the working middle class in America. And what Mr. Edwards does is extremely important in our community, not only for MTC, but for our economy and our community, impacting the lives of students every day.
Omar Edwards has been a part of our organization since he was a child. He actually grew up in the Boys and Girls Club. He's an excellent role model for our young people today, and really has just been so invested in the organization, he just never left. He's been on our board of directors, he served as committee chair on various activities, he was a member of our capital campaign cabinet to rebuild the DeSoto Club, he's been a member of our alumni program. Most recently, Omar was given the distinction of joining our Alumni Hall of Fame, one of only 5 members to do so since our inception 75 years ago.
Omar has served as the polemarch of the Sarasota, Florida alumni chapter for 5 years. He's had several positions with our fraternity for over a decade through scholarship, speakers bureaus.
Omar is very invested in family, and that comes true through everything that he does. He's very thoughtful in his leadership, and that he wants to understand how things will impact individuals and then what we can do as a community that will make things better. So he's very much interested in hearing various perspectives and bringing people to the table. And I think that's a great skill that he shows, because it's not about him and it's not about what his views are. It's really about how do we work on this particular problem or challenge, and how do we come together to make an impact?
It's my pleasure and my privilege to present the 2022 Leadership Spirit Award winner, who was actually nominated by Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity, to Omar Edwards.
First and foremost, I would like to give credit to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who has guided the force of my life and has made this day possible for all of us. I have so many people to thank, but I'll start out with the Manatee County Foundation for your time and your effort to sort through all of the award nominations. To my mother, Lynette Edwards, who has made a numberous of sacrifices throughout her life to ensure that I received a quality education, she continues to offer sage wisdom to me each and every day, and for that I am grateful. To my new bride and my best friend, Ladina Edwards, thank you for allowing me to work on my day off. She embraced the motto early on that a day off is an opportunity to have a day on. Finally, I would like to thank the Sarasota, Florida Alumni Chapter for our fundamental purpose, which is achievement, for my family for instilling those core values which you treat people how you want to be treated, for my friends who keep me grounded. They're only going to let me get so high before they got a joke to cut me down. and to my colleagues who embrace my passion each and every day, which is to inspire our students with a passion for learning, to empower them to get their goals confidently and creatively while contributing to our community, our nation, and our world. I truly love Manatee County, and I want everyone to be successful at their passion. I encourage you to be better today than you were yesterday, but not as good as you will be tomorrow. Continue to stay connected and support organizations like the Manatee County Foundation. They are truly making a difference in our community. God bless you, God bless Manatee County, and God bless America. Thank you.
Well said, Omar. Thank you for those words. It was wonderful. So now we're going to hear comments from the United Way of the Suncoast and the School District of Manatee County on our second Leadership Spirit nominee. Let's watch.
What I have noticed about Steve and Carolyn is that when they see something, they have to say something. But not only that, is they have to do something. It's just ingrained in them. And Steve has talked about this multiple times with me, is that when he learned that our children, more than 50% of them, were not reading on grade level by the time they left third grade, that important benchmark where children shift from learning to read to reading to learn, he said he was compelled. He was compelled to move forward, but not just in a way that said, here's some money, do something with that. It was, what can we build together? What makes sense for our community? And more importantly, who else can I help you bring into this work? That is so powerful for a donor to do, and I believe that that's one of the reasons why his gifts and his way of philanthropy will make a huge difference in our community for the long term.
The Ross camps have been instrumental in supporting our SOAR and 4 program, which really does focus on pre-K, early intervention, and we're predominantly focused on 4-year-olds, making sure that the students and the families are aware of pre-K opportunities, but also understand the importance of literacy, supporting their children, reading to their children, so that when they enter kindergarten, they're fully ready and prepared for the learning process.
Our community is changing every day thanks to the philanthropy of Steve and Carolyn Roskamp and their hands-on approaches. Their investment in the big plan, Community United for Our Children's Future, through that we are changing the trajectory of our children who need us the most in the Central Corridor in Manatee County. They've been working with us since the very beginning, since the vision was just emerging, and they've trusted us and have been very hands-on in providing multiple kinds of resources to the effort.
So again, without the support of the Ross camps and expanding into our 4-year-olds and making sure that we're able to give them all the supports necessary and to make them aware of all the opportunities that are afforded to them, without their support, we would not be as far along in this endeavor as we have been. So it is invaluable. It is a county-wide initiative, and we're forever grateful of their support.
I absolutely want to say a huge thank you to Steve and Carolyn Roskamp. You are amazing human beings. We are grateful for you as United Way Suncoast, but I know that you have multiple partners and multiple children and families who, on their behalf, I want to make sure I say a huge thank you. I know you're not looking for it, but it's important to say it out loud because we care about you and we're grateful for your leadership.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure to present the 2022 Leadership Spirit Award to Steve and Carolyn Roskamp.
Hello.
I'm really humbled to be here with you all today. Thank you for sharing this time with us. As some of you know, I'm the coordinator for missions and outreach for Kirkwood Presbyterian Church. While I have an office and I'm on staff, I'm really a volunteer. I've been blessed by the support of our church family to pursue connecting people and missions near and far for years. We were thrilled to initiate a partnership between Kirkwood and Seabreeze Elementary School. Initially, we wanted to introduce 4-year-olds to their future school so that that first school day wasn't so scary. Once the school year began, we brought willing members and friends into the classrooms to provide one-on-one literacy and math tutoring, as well as volunteers for the Media Center. Our goal was to provide individual attention to children who needed extra time to practice fundamentals and to help them increase their chances of success in school. Our partnership with the school became the seed for Soar and For. Soar and For evolved into providing literacy resources to parents to help them become their child's first best teacher. Honestly, I appreciate the opportunity to greet and welcome families to our monthly Soar and For events. Even during the months of drive-through events, children and parents alike were excited to find and meet community members who were excited to care about their future. There's always room for you to join us too. Personally, I'm grateful to be a small part of what makes Manatee County great. Thank you.
Hi. Sure did I marry well here. I'm so thankful that 35 years ago that we became a team, Carolyn and me. You know, we all are gifted a certain amount of time, talent, and treasure. And at different times in our lives, those balances differ. Probably 6-7 years ago, I learned about the grade level reading challenge, not only in our community, but in our country through John Annis, who was then with the Community Foundation of Sarasota. I was astounded to learn that most of our son's peers at Manatee High School couldn't compete with him academically due to the lack of investment in them before they got out of elementary school. I determined that I would, if I had a chance, the wherewithal to make a difference for children in reading beyond our own, that I would. The next year, God smiled upon us, and we sold a business, and I had the funds to invest. I really had no idea where to start, and I just showed up at one of the local elementary schools, Seabreeze, said, "We want to help." And the newly installed principal there, Greg Sander, looked at us and checked us out and said, "Yeah, you can help us." And over the next 3 months, one door led to another door, and I just met all kinds of people that were in our community that were already committed to making a difference in the reading, but they needed our help. As I said, time, talent, and treasure. And at this point, I had extra treasure, and combined with their time and talent, we could make a difference for our community's children. I want to specifically thank Bronwyn Bechtal with United Way, Susie Bowie with the Community Foundation, Superintendent Saunders, our previous superintendent, Diana Green, Dr. Robin Thompson, and the one who really makes Soar and For go, Sheila Halpin, who has boundless energy, ideas, and is just not afraid to ask. We're just so thankful that when we had the means to be able to invest, There were already people here that we could easily invest in and make their dreams come true. So this is kind of a love fest deal here today, isn't it? We all feel good. It feels good to be back together and be in a room with so many people. And I know each of you have your own passion, and we just want to encourage you, for wherever that passion aligns, to invest even one more step in whatever that is. And hopefully it's with our youngest and neediest children who need every resource that we can bring to bear for them. So thank you.
Wonderful. Wonderful couple. It's great to have people like that in our community. It truly is. And now we've arrived at our final award, the Lifetime Spirit Award. It's presented to an individual or couple demonstrating a lifetime record of exceptional generosity in the community, whose direct financial support exemplifies outstanding charitable and civic responsibility that has significantly advanced the mission of several charitable institutions within the community, and whose leadership and example encourages and motivates others towards greater roles in philanthropy. The Lifetime Spirit Award honoree was nominated by Easter Seals Happiness House, State College of Florida Foundation, and the Lakewood Ranch Community Fund. Let's watch what they have to say.
Joe and Barbara Najmi, for over 25 years, have stewarded Easter Seals Happiness House through ebbs and flows, tough times, strong times, but most importantly, their guidance, Joe's legal advice, their being there every year consistently to be sure that folks with disabilities had a voice, had services, and then Barbara's ability to raise money. Fundraising is one of her many gifts. Together, they let folks in Manatee County know what the needs were and invited them to join them in helping to meet those needs.
Well, Winston Churchill said, "We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give." And those are the words that the Najmis live by every day. Through the wonderful relationship we have with Barbara and Joe Najmi and the great works they've done with the State College of Florida, we're also able to provide our students incredible programs, instructors, and the facilities that they need to master all of the expertise they need to have here at the State College of Florida and as they go on to their careers or to their universities. And we can't say thank you enough for those unrestricted dollars. They really mean everything to our students because what they allow us to do is across the gamut.
Without the work that Barbara and Joe did on behalf of the Community Fund, we wouldn't have been in a position over the course of the last 22 years to do the kind of grants that we've done. Addressing the needs of the community that are easily seen, but more importantly, the needs in the community that aren't as well known. They are a true gem, and without their impact, the Community Fund wouldn't have been able to have this kind of impact that they've had.
I think the legacy of Joe and Barbara Najmi is a legacy of kindness, of encouragement, of unity, of generosity, of just being there for others through thick and thin. And I, for one, and I know the Easter Seals family, are privileged to call them friend.
Barbara and Joe Najmi have made an impact and are making a continual impact in our community, one that will be felt for eternity, or at least as long as the Lakewood Ranch Community Fund is in existence, which hopefully will be for eternity.
We'd like to thank Barbara and Joe Najmi for everything they've done for the State College of Florida and for our community, and congratulations on being the Lifetime Spirit Award winners.
Joe and Barbara, we just want to congratulate you on behalf of the board, all the clients, the volunteers, the folks you've inspired to help people with disabilities. All of us together want to make sure you know how proud we are and are so glad that you're able to accept this recognition. The Lifetime Spirit of Manatee Award at this early age, pretty impressive. Congratulations, Joe and Barbara Najmi.
It's my great pleasure to present the Lifetime Spirit Award to the amazing Joe and Barbara Najmi.
Wow. It's a little overwhelming. Thank you, everyone. We're so honored and touched and humbled and difficult to put it all in words. But, you know, when Tom Waters called me in January and told me that, that MCF selected us as the recipient for this award, Barbara and I was in shock. I really was surprised, and I'm not sure 3 months later whether or not the shock has worn off. But be that as it may, I can just say thank you very much. I do want to recognize my law partners that are here today, my brother Louis, who he himself is a very charitable guy. He does it, his charitable works under the radar sort of a lot of times, but certainly Louis and Stephen Thompson, who I practiced with for 30 years. Without their support, without their help, we couldn't do as much as we do, and certainly very indebted to my partners, my firm, not only the partners but the staff as well, and also having practiced, you know, for 30 years here in town, you know, I would be remiss not to recognize my former partners that I practiced with before Stephen and Louis and I started our firm. Greg Porges, who I started practice with here over 30 years ago, who hired me, and is not only Greg, but certainly the other partners in the firm, Curtis Hamlins, Tim Knowles, Steve Prouty. They taught me a lot. They taught me the easy part of how to practice law, but they also taught me, in comparison, that's the easy part. They also taught me some things that are much more important, and the importance of giving back. They were all extremely generous with their time. They were philanthropic. They were charitable, and I watched them and I emulated them, and and it made a big impact on me. And I just wanted to recognize them today. I also should be recognizing, most importantly, the person on my left, my partner of my beautiful wife for 37 years. Who I owe so much to. She amazes me every day with her very multifaceted skills. She's the force behind this award. And without everything that I've accomplished in life, I owe to Barbara. And so thank you, Barbara. You know, we live in a beautiful community. We live in a special community. We're very blessed. It's easy to give back, and I'm so honored to be part of this award. As Tom said, we hopefully have time on our side moving forward. I do commit to do our best. We commit to do our best to encourage others moving forward to give back, to encourage others on the beauty and the magic of giving back. And I'm very humbled and honored, and I just thank everyone here today.
Wow. I can't tell you what an honor and how humbling it is to be up here. And thank you, Joe, for everything that you do. But first, we want to just really say thank you to MCF for putting on this amazing afternoon where we are all gathered here together, leaders of our community. We share this and celebrate this moment with you. We can't live in a better place. Manatee County is an amazing place to live, to dine, to play, to worship, to raise your children. And we can't thank you enough for everything that you do. So, where do I start? So, this does not happen without faith and foundation, and that comes from our parents. My parents, Joe's parents. We are so blessed today to have Joe's mom with us. My parents are via FaceTime today, so thank you for the foundation that you've created, for the ability, for your support throughout the years. To our siblings, we are so blessed to continue to share and enjoy lifetime memories. Without each of you, this does not happen. You create the family, you create the foundation, and we continue our legacy through our children. To our nieces and nephews, we are so proud to watch each of them begin their philanthropy journey. It is exciting to hear them and watch them not just be philanthropists at such a young age, but enjoy being philanthropists and get excited by just giving their time and not thinking twice about it. To our children, Brittany, Justin, and Brandon, you continue to inspire us, and we do what we do because you are there behind us. And just knowing that you're there just puts that smile on our face. To Easter Seals, State College of Florida, and to the Lakewood Ranch Community Fund, we thank you for recognizing, honoring us. We are humbled, and we feel our work has just begun. So where did this all begin? I had to ask myself. So I just remember being in 9th grade in a classroom, laughing with friends, and not knowing what to expect, I found myself raising my hand as our teacher asked for volunteers to be summer counselors to a group of children in Newtown. Oof. I went home and I told my mom I volunteered, and she said, "You did what?" And I said, "Well, I'm going to spend the summer playing with kids in Newtown." Oh, okay. So I don't know how she, reacted to that, but I just thought it was a feel-good. So I thought, well, it'll be a great time with children. And I can still remember the children's faces and the big smiles as the big yellow school bus arrived to pick them up. And it was days filled and planned with fun. There were movie days, there were swimming days, there were lazy days where we just hung out in the park, reading, playing games, braiding little girls' hair, and hiding from those summer showers. They were fun, simple days, and I just remember the joy that we as a group, high school kids, just brought to this group of children that just were a little less fortunate than many of us here today. And I can still remember and hearing as the bus driving away, the little girls and little boys would say, "You coming back, Miss Barbara?" And I'd be just like waving out saying, "Yep, we'll be back in 2 days." So it was amazing. I ended up returning every summer. It was one of the most rewarding and inspirational experiences during my high school years. And so here we are today, and I still feel the same feeling I felt when I was in 9th grade. That just inspires me. Each of you inspire me. Joe and I could not do this without the community behind us, and we just love what we do. So take a moment today to reflect How did you arrive? And when did you arrive? We live in a community that's graced with an abundance of wealth, contributions of individuals and charitable organizations. But always remember, we are all wealthy. We are all wealthy in time. Time is the greatest gift that you can give someone. Time is a portion of your life that you can never get back. So with time, you have the key to change other lives. So if I can leave you with one last thought, your legacy is the link to continuing to elevate our community and to improve the quality of life to all of us around. Thank you.
I got to chat with Joe for just a second before the luncheon today, and I congratulated him, and he said, do you think they ran out of old people to give this lifetime experience to and everything? I said, no, Joe. I said, we're just the old people now. We're getting there, buddy. So I did my very first seminar with that guy when we were both young in our professions 30 years ago or so. It's absolutely amazing. You know, it's remarkable when you hear these people make their comments. It's not about it's not about them. It's about the community, and it's about what we do in the community and how we come together to make our community a better place. And that's always the overriding theme that we hear in this luncheon. And it's just amazing the leadership and giving that they've demonstrated and how it inspires all of them and all of us. So congratulations one more time to all of our honorees today. I also want to thank all the amazing organizations that have nominated somebody this year. You all just continue to find people and do a tremendous job of bringing the right people at the right time to be recognized for what they do in our community. And I'd just like to encourage, all of the other organizations that are out there. We know you have great people in your organizations. We know you all are doing great things. Help us to find the people that are important to you and important to our community so that we can recognize them as well. I'd like to thank everybody for being such a great audience today, and I am going to turn it over to Susie for some final thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Doesn't John do an amazing job? Thank you, John, and thank you, Chris. Promise I'm going to get you out of here, and thanks for sharing that. What did you say, John? We are the old people. We're the oldies station now. I don't know if you noticed that. Our favorite music is the oldies. I saw you laughing at that, Tompy. All right, so look, if you were moved by today, we really hope that you will carry the inspiration into your life and whatever you're getting ready to do next. I want to thank our generous volunteers who use their time to help us get prepared for today and who also helped during the event. As Barbara mentioned, time is so precious, we never get it back, so thank you. I also want to thank Karen Arango for the beautiful videos. She is just incredible. She's with us today. Sights and sounds, thank you. Thank you to Charles Clapsaddle and his team. We always have great confidence when you're here with us. In case you're wondering what the awards actually look like, They're made of fused glass. These are the beautiful awards that our awardees receive. So we're very excited about these beautiful pieces of art. And I want you to think wonderful thoughts and thank this year's selection committee. A couple of them couldn't be with us, but Chuck Slater, the amazing Chuck Slater, Tarnisha Client, thank you so much, Barbara Brownell, and Nick Drizos. We appreciate their work in recognizing these leaders. I want to give my personal thanks to all of our honorees. It was so inspiring having a chance to listen to you. Thank you for sharing your heart with us. If you're in the audience and you're thinking, look, I'm never going to have enough money, I'm never going to have enough time, I'm never going to have enough resources or influence to make the difference that these leaders made, you're wrong. I think that all of us have so much to offer, and we have to remember that every single act of giving is important. As John mentioned earlier, with the lights that we shine together, it really takes all of us. And the biggest mistake we can make is thinking that we don't have enough to make a difference. That's never true. We also invite you to remember that the moments we have to celebrate good do not depend on special occasions like this. We can create them at home, in our offices, among friends, and even among strangers. It simply takes a recognition that we are the instruments of change, and acknowledging others for their contributions is part of the good that we can do. If you're ready to get more serious about your philanthropy, Manatee Community Foundation partners with individuals and families on all levels of ability and interest in giving. It's always on your terms, based on the causes that are most important to you. Whether it's a $5,000 starter donor advised fund or planning to help you ensure that a future gift is realized within the parameters that you choose, we're always here, even if you just need some ideas or guidance. Each of you has a special blue pouch or a white pouch at your seat. It is filled with inspiring messages. And you might be thinking, what the heck am I going to do with this? Well, we have some ideas for you. Keep these message cards to uplift yourself if you're having a rough day. Hand a card to a colleague if they need a boost. Include one of them in a thank you card or maybe a birthday gift. We challenge you before you leave today, or maybe while you're sitting in the parking lot waiting for it to clear, find a message that resonates for you. Share it on Facebook or Twitter. Where's the Patterson Foundation table? Because I know y'all are tweeting this, right? You're going to tweet you're going to tweet the message out. Tweet it out, take a picture of yourselves or friends at Spirit of Manatee. Make sure that you tag us. We're going to pick some of those posters and you will get free tickets to next year's Spirit of Manatee event. My favorite message in your deck is this one by Fred Rogers, which we will leave you with in closing. I hope you're proud of yourself for the times you've said yes, when all it meant was extra work for you and was seemingly helpful only to somebody else. Thank you for joining Manatee Community Foundation today, and thank you for your light in the world.